Hi folks, just want to give you a little tutorial on threading up tube flies for the drop shot. If you've seen Mike from UK Castaway Fishing, latest video where he kind of catches a few Xanders, one of the methods he used was a drop shot, but he actually used an actual fly rather than a tube fly. I like the tube flies, like so. But you can use them on standard. So what you need to do is basically you take your standard like you'd make a drop shot rig. So squeeze it down, because what you're aiming to do is push that through the tube. It's actually quite easy to do, but because I'm holding it at weird angles, it's proving somewhat tedious. Of course, you could also use one of those boilie threaders. A baiting needle, that's what it is, a baiting needle. I just push that through the tube. So, push it through, like so. And there you have your tube fly on the mono. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stick the hook on. Now hook wise, you've all obviously got your favourite hooks to use, so I'm not going to go into what hooks to use. I do actually prefer a short shank hook, like so. But again, use whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, so if you could, so push it through the eye of the hook and hope you can see that, and then pull it tight. Ideally, you want that loop above the eye of the hook, and then tighten down onto it. Okay, so then what we have to do is push our tube back onto the fly. What you can do is just push a little bit into the tube, like so. Then you have the hook standing. You can see that, like so. And then obviously you just need to attach your drop shot weight, which I'll show you just now. Just let me grab a drop shot. Okay, standard drop shot. Like so. And there you have a cracking little fly on a drop shot rig. Probably not the best tutorial I've ever seen, but you know, you get the idea. There you go. So of course as well, with this drop shot, you can actually change the fly quite easily. All you need to do is just push your mono back the opposite way, put a new tube fly on, and just same again. It's easy. Give it a try. So next up with the tube flies, I'm going to show you how to do how to rig an even easier way if you don't want a drop shot, for use with either cherubs or split shot rigs, Carolina, Texas rigs. Okay, so what to do? There's your tube, and there's your mono. So straight through the tube. Like so. And then thread your hook. Again, whatever is your hook preference. Okay, and I do just a 6-turn blood knot. And normally you'd obviously wet that, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm not going to wet the knot. So a 6-turn blood knot. Like so. And that little tag end, we're going to keep that in. Okay. So there's your hook, and there's your Mike's Mauler. And all we do is, again, we just push that, into the back of the tube, and there you have it. Now the other great thing about doing tube flies this way is when you have especially with Zander who do tail nip stuff quite often, as do trout actually, and perch and stuff. They'll come along and they'll nip the tail. Where that is, that's going to hook 99% of your fish. Not an issue. And that's a very, very simple rig on a tube fly. So you can split shot rig that. Again, Cherubusque. You can, whatever weights you want, whatever way you want to do it. Texas, whatever, you know. You can even stick that behind a float, like a controller float. And off you go. That, any fish will take that. Particularly good method. Anyway, a couple of tube flies, couple of ways of doing them. Sorry about the crap quality of doing it. I'm not one of these professionals. But anyway, you get the idea. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, please subscribe. It costs nothing. That would be marvellous. And you'll keep me informed of future videos. I'll keep you informed of future videos. And I'll be going out with the GoPro actually using these. So check in. Thanks a million.